So who can name me the first phylum? Nope. First phylum we covered. Nope. Porifera. Second. Cnidarians. 3, 4, and 5 are all worms. So we're going to cover those today. So Platyhelminthes, or we're going to call them plats because their AKA is flat. And I want people to answer that word in group 1 and 2, okay? For the first worm, and then for the other two, anybody except group 3 and 4. So examples. You have planaria and tapeworms, okay? Well, you know, every phylum we give some kind of examples. There's more, we're just gonna have to learn two, okay? There's symmetry. Guys, everybody except group 1 and 2. Bilateral. You could cut them down the middle, and there's gonna have mirror images on each side. Where do they live? Pretty much everywhere, okay? But yeah, they rely on a host, but they can find their host either on land or water. And they reproduce both, okay? And for my flats, you don't have to know an example of reproduction, okay? So to clarify reproduction on the test.
Oh, you went away.
Yes, but to clarify reproduction on the test, you do not have to know every type of phylum and their specific reproduction, okay? You will have to know cephalization, but when I compile the notes, you're going to see how easy it is. So for reproduction, I'm going to ask you questions like, if I give you an example of specific phylum reproducing, you're going to have to tell me what type of reproduction it is, okay? So you do not have to link how each phylum reproduces in your notes. All right. So my plants are carnivores and parasites. They still have only one opening. So their mouth is the opening, and the digestion takes place inside the digestive cavity or that sac, and then it comes out in the same direction. I know. I'll change. Here's an example of, I just had to put a picture of there. There's a tapeworm inside the bladder of a rabbit. Yeah, and you can figure that out later. Let's move on.
Where is it?
There's for your visuals.
Okay,
We move on, and now I froze again.
I can't see it. Where in here?
So nematodes. Toda, look at the letters, and most of the letters look round because they are round worms. I mean, that's the way you can associate. So you got plat, rhymes with flat, and nematode, like a lot of the letters are round, like the O, the A, I don't know. Just ways for you to remember, but they're round worms. Examples of some nematodes are hookworms, pinworms, and threadworms. Symmetry. Help me, anybody but group 2 and 3, I mean 3 and 4. Bilateral. Where do they live?
In people.
Everywhere. I mean, they had a picture of land and water, water, but they expressed that they lived in both land and water. Reproduce sexually, and they do not have cephalization. Both of your groups said they have cephalization, but they don't. It shows like it's there in some, but realistically, there's no cephalization in roundworms. Right, so my roundworms, or my what? Nematodes are decomposers and parasites. Decomposers because they actually break down nutrients and replenish the soil. They have the first phylum with a full digestive tract. They have a mouth, so the food comes in through the mouth, and then it goes out another opening, which is out the anus. And I'm not going to get into their organ systems or structures involved, but we are in the next phylum. All right, so here is some more pictures, and this is showing the life cycle of my roundworm. Those extra pictures are just there for you to kind of enjoy. All right, so my annelids, the AKs, nobody really nailed here. Look at this worm and tell me, what do you see?
Fluffy things.
What? Segments. Oh, you did, okay. Segmented worm. So that's the AKA. They are what? What kind of symmetry? Oh, here are my examples. I'm sorry. Earthworm, which we're gonna dissect, leech, and sandworms. So we're gonna focus a little bit more on the feeding and digestion of an earthworm because we're gonna dissect it and be able to see hands-on what exactly is going on. What's their symmetry? Bilateral. Habitat. Everywhere. They live on water and land, but they are really important to Earth because they're also are like little recyclers and they form soil. Reproduction, they're hermaphrodites and they do not have cephalization. So reproduction is sexual.
These worms have eyes.
They have cephalization.
Oh, they see.
Did I say they don't? They do. They do have cephalization. So I was saying before, actually this slide, but earthworms are soil builders, so they're a really important part of the environment. They're bottom dwellers or detritivores. That means they live usually like in low areas. So if you find them in the soil, that's a bottom dweller, and they break down particles or feed off little particles of organic matter. They also have a full digestive tract, and I say specialized because we're going to have to know the majority of these. This is actually not even showing digestion so much as it's showing other systems, but they have an entrance, and they have an exit, and they have a full tract, and we're going to learn about each organ that goes through the earthworm during its processing of food.